Y'all can ask questions towards the end. Let me go through some of these things and try to listen. Act like you're paying attention in class for once, Chris. And
I got you.
Just see if this makes sense, because this is not my own opinion. These are all facts. And Diggs, chime in too. Okay, so here it is. ESPN is paying $1.47 billion per year, and Turner TV Network is paying $1.2 billion per year. All right, so $2.67 billion per year to have the rights to broadcast. I think it's 187 games. Okay, every cable satellite subscriber pay ESPN, and there was 100 million subscribers. Now there's about 85 million, but $30 a year goes towards the NBA. No matter if you watch ESPN or not, just by being a cable subscriber, that's what happens. That's where your money goes. Okay, so if they keep hemorrhaging subscribers, the NBA's new deal would have to change drastically. Now, let's just say ESPN didn't bid on the new deal in 2025, and they said the NBA, you're going to have to do it your own way. You're going to have to stream and stuff. They would have to take 10 million people that would pay $270 per year to watch the NBA games. Kind of like a NFL ticket type deal. But the NFL ticket has 2 million subscribers, and obviously there's a lot more football fans here in the United States than there are basketball fans, at least fans that watch the games on TV. So I don't see that happening in 2025. Twitter, Facebook, Amazon, they have no interest in losing money. You fast forward to 2025, or let's just say Twitter, for instance. Twitter, they put in they got a $10 million, they put in a bid for $10 million to get the NFL like co-streaming Thursday night games for 10 games. Well, they lost it for this next year. Amazon got it and they bid $50 million. Twitter turned that $10 million and they netted $15 million in ad revenue. So it was a great investment. Amazon, because of the way they're able to, see what people are looking at to buy, and they can customize ads to cater to them. They paid $50 million. That was, that's a multiple of 5. That's a pretty big jump in 1 year, but they saw an opportunity and they seized it. So let's fast forward to 2025, and let's say that cable and satellite subscribers that watch ESPN goes down to 40 million subscribers. Now, it might not go down to 40 million, it might stay at 50 or 60, but we can all say that people are cutting the cord, and it's going faster and faster, right? So so to say 50 to 40 million subscribers, I don't think that's a reach, quite frankly, in year 2025. So a feasible bid that, since they were able to spend $2.67 billion, and that's just mostly because they have a lot of subscribers.
But can I just get in?
Yeah.
All right. The thing is, what you're saying, it makes sense, what you're getting towards, but you're kind of using the model that they have today. Like, who in 2025, who's to say what's going on today is how it's going to be going on?
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
so, I agree. And so towards the end, I actually cut it down and say, okay, so let's just say, it's 2025. Let's say ESPN and Turner, they're going to bid on the new NBA rights to broadcast the games. But they lost a lot of their subscribers, which you guys can probably agree that that's going to happen in 2025. Just 15 million subscribers have been lost in the past year and a half, 2 years. You could see that, especially as millennials start getting out there, they're going to cut the cord. The average viewership for a nationally televised NBA game was 1.2 million viewers. So 1.2 million people watched on average every NBA game during the season. There's 143 games broadcast during the year and 44 postseason games, so 187 games. So ESPN and Turner are paying roughly $14.278 million per game now. So in the future, they will have to take this down to roughly $7 million per game on a new deal if they lost half their subscribers, because that's what they're banking on. They're actually banking on their subscriber count growing, which is a model that I don't know how they have, especially in the age we live in, but they're going to have to cut that down. They're not going to have the subscribers to do that, to substantiate paying that much money. So what if Amazon co-streams games, or, Twitter, Facebook, Google, when that happens? 2 million people watched Thursday Night Football last year on Twitter, and 15 million still watch those Thursday night games on their TV. So 17 million total, but 2 million watch from their phones on Twitter for the Thursday night game. Amazon saw these stats, and they paid $5 million per game for the new deal to basically reach 2 million viewers. Maybe they think they can reach more, but 2 million to be safe, because that's what they saw last year with Twitter. That's how many people watched it on the stream. So roughly there's 11% of viewers are going to stream the game, but right now 89% are still going to watch on their TV, at least for the Thursday night game. So we know this is going to change, and more viewers are going to watch on their phones. But apply that logic today to the NBA in numbers, and 132,000 would stream every game, and a total of 1.068 million would watch from their cable boxes. If we applied that logic to the NBA and there were co-streaming, Twitter, Facebook, if they were to stream games today. But it's going to be quite a bit different in 2025. And let's just say that 600 out of the 1.2 million people that watch, let's say half of them only watch from their TV, cable boxes. I think that it might be a little more than that, but let's just say half. So that's 600,000 people that will watch from their cable boxes, 600,000 people that would stream. So now the only thing that TNT and ESPN could offer would be around $1 billion. Okay. There's just not enough cable subscribers to substantiate a larger offer than that. But if they're going to have to split streaming with like a Twitter, a Facebook, they're not going, that offer still might be a little rich. So if you look at Amazon's payment for, what they're going to be paying per game, and let's just say that the NBA grows slightly, which I kind of have my doubts. If you apply the model that Amazon used to pay for NFL games, that would basically equal about $280 million that Amazon would be able to pay for the rights to stream, NBA games. 187 games, they could pay $280 million in order for them to reach the same viewership that they reach with the NFL deal. So that money works. That logic works with Amazon. It would be $280 million was what they would be able to pay. So we take $1 billion that ESPN and Turner will be able to pay. We take $280 million, and maybe Amazon could bump that up to $500 million or $600 million if they could reach more viewers, because the viewership probably will grow to 2025. And you have anywhere from, 1.2 billion to 1.5 billion for the new NBA contract for rights for the TV. Do y'all see a problem with that?
My question is this only pertaining to the NBA?
Yeah, this is just the NBA.
Well, how? What about other sport leagues?
Because other sport leagues, and the NFL has its own set of problems, but they don't. Some of their TV contracts are, with Fox. Fox is a little
NCAA. Like they're getting paid. Like Texas got like $1 billion TV deal with ESPN.
Yeah, ESPN paid that.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
why did they pay it? Yeah, I'm asking you. This is one of the problems that ESPN has. That's ESPN's problem. That's not college football's problem. Exactly.
Yeah. See,
exactly.
I agree with you in the extent that I think, like you said, ESPN has an issue, but the NBA is, like we said last week, they're gonna find a way to monetize.
But I'm giving you the stats.
It's a growing league.
I feel like everything is going a la carte from here forward.
Right.
We see it with cord cutting. We see it with, so say, just like, okay, if you watch Suits on USA or whatever you watch, and you go to the Play Store or the Apple Store and you want to go watch that episode from last night, it's going to cost you $199, $299.
Yeah.
Why can't the NBA do that?
Just pay per game.
No, they absolutely could.
Watch the Cavaliers game tonight for 99 cents. So okay,
but they don't make nearly as much money. It's a fraction of the price.
But they're still getting. But if they're the ones streaming it, they would be getting paid the advertising money.
Exactly, they get all of that.
No,
if it's an NBA channel, so like if UE Upper Echelon wanted to put a commercial in there, they'd have to pay the NBA money for a spot on there, like a Super Bowl.
But the advertising dollars aren't that. You just heard what I said. Twitter spent $10 million and they made $15 million. So they made 50%. it was a great return, but it's nothing like what even Amazon reached with as much as theirs.
We're in the infant stages of streaming.
But you don't understand. Twitter, Amazon, they know what they're going to make in advertising. They know their cost per customer. They know how they can make money. ESPN's model is not on advertising. ESPN's model is on subscribers. TNT's model is on subscribers.
ESPN. All of that's going to change going forward.
It will.
Everything is going to be a la carte. So okay, if the NBA came to you tomorrow and said, Justin, we have this Oklahoma City Thunder package. You can get every Thunder game, a la carte, every game for 99 cents, or you can buy the whole season for $40. Would you do it?
Yeah, but the 99 cents is really low
for you. You know what I'm saying? And then multiply that times the amount of people who will watch their team, plus the Cavaliers, plus the Golden State Warriors, and they just pay per game and they pay per package. They're going to make a lot of money.
They're going to make a lot of money, but they're not going to make $2.67 billion to pay their players. And all I'm saying, because just the math right away, there's not that many people that do that. First of all, there's only
What was the topic of your thing? You said
the NBA will implode. And what I mean by implode is there's going to be a lot of people that get laid off. There's going to be a lot of salary cuts, big cuts, like not small cuts, big cuts. We're talking about the next TV rights deal is going to be close to probably around half of what it is now, maybe a little more. And that's, a ways down the road, and we're not even factoring in inflation. I think there's just a big problem that's going to happen next time they go to renew their contracts, because there was poor management now in giving these players these huge contracts and go ahead, because the players, bargaining for it, but they're basically giving all of it away now and in the future, and they need to be reserving some of this.
But that doesn't make sense, because if you're not giving it to the players, who's taking it? The owners.
No, you need to put it. You need to invest it and stick in, gradually. You're not, okay, Matt. You're a plumber. You charge like $100 and something an hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can't assume that next year you're just going to start charging $250 or double your price, right? It'd be almost impossible for you to get work because of the competition. All I'm saying is they gave these players too big of a jump way too quick. They should have leveled this out and been smarter with the money than just, spending it all right away. See, invest it with a wealth manager. The
NBA, Adam Silver is going to go walk to a wealth person.
They already have that. That's what
I'm sure, but I'm saying like the players, the whole part of the CBA is the players are saying, I want that money.
Right. Because the players aren't going to be, some of these players aren't going to be around in 2025.
It's like what LeBron said. What was it? The Golden State Warriors before Steph were worth up $450 million. Now they're $2.5 billion.
So
right.
So without Steph Curry, that doesn't happen. And other than that, he's getting underpaid if he's still getting paid 15 or 11 a year that he was on last year.
I agree. I think players like Steph Curry should be compensated.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my gosh, bro.
But I think the Otto Porter's getting $100 million, $20 million a year. Otto Porter's a $3 million a year type of guy.
I mean, that's ridiculous. I think the contracts are going to change. I don't think they're just going to keep growing exponentially. Like, I don't think it's going to be the next set is going to be $50 million a year. The next set is going to be 60. I think it's going to change, like maybe have some revenue sharing or something going on into the contracts instead of just this is what you get paid. I think the players would like that.
I think there's smart people working for the NBA that saw
Chris,
the second highest rating since 1991 for a finals.
But all of the
Jordan.
regular season was down.
Oh, but so was the NFL's. But you weren't complaining about that.
Because we're not talking about the NFL.
But what's the difference, though?
There was
they're both a major league. They both make the two most money in America for sports.
Chris, I know you were young when the last recession happened, but there was a lot of us smart people in the United States. And there was about 4 people that could see what was brewing underneath with these, mortgage bonds.
All right, comparing a country going into a recession to I'm saying the NBA is a league that is not going to let itself just look.
I don't think it's not going to go under, but they're going to have to make drastic changes when that next contract rolls around. People are going to all the new contracts, like Steph Curry getting what he got now in 2025. They're going to have to take a big pullback until they figure it out, and they should have changed a lot of this before they went into this new agreement with with the new contracts and the new.
My thing is, there's always going to be consumers. In 2025, there's going to be more people on Earth that want to consume it. We're all going to.
Are you sure?
If the Earth implodes, then
let's I think it's. I don't think it's going to pace.
Disaster.
NBA is not going to pace what it has been. Like it's not going to grow as fast as it has
plummet
been.
Back down to MLS level.
Yeah, I don't think not at all. But I'm just saying, staying around the same, maybe growing at a 3% rate. They're in trouble.
Right now, they're in the stage of branching out into other countries. So people are sooner or later they're gonna figure out a way to monetize.
Yeah, but they've been trying to do that for
100 billion people, and
they've been trying to do that a long time.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't just happen overnight.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe that is the solution. But there's
pull that off in China. That's a wrap.
Right, China, Mexico City, then you good. You get into them markets, you straight.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of geopolitical risk and different things and going into other countries that we'll see. We'll see.
That's how I feel. I feel like they will.
I mean, every team has a Spanish.
I'm saying they're obviously not going to go completely under, but it's going to be a shock, and it's going to be
title did not help that. The NBA will implode.
It will. I mean, you could implode and still survive.
In 2025, I'm gonna be watching LeBron James Jr. run the league. Regardless.
Yeah, and getting half as much money as his dad got, unless there's changes made. I'm just saying what I'm seeing, and I don't know. I mean,
what's it based on? I guess you can't base it on anything because
it's based on numbers, unless something drastically changes and there's, 2 million babies born next year, and in 2025 there'll be 8, and they all want to watch. They all want to watch basketball, and they want to pay ESPN. They want to pay their cable subscriptions.
That and soccer are the two highest ones. I feel like. I mean, the NFL
I honestly don't think. Yeah, the NFL is obviously going down just because a lot of kids or parents are holding their kids out because of concussion problems and what they see in the news. So I do think the NBA grows a little more there, but I honestly think sports in general are starting to slide a little bit just because of the devices being in kids' hands. They'd rather be playing Minecraft and etc. But I do think the NBA is on a better.
Okay, all right, but then people are paying to watch MLG.
Yeah, so maybe MLG takes over the NBA. I don't know. 2025, you're gonna see drastic changes. I'm sure they'll probably see it coming before then.
About the internet, Justin?
And they'll get it. What's up? What's good about
this? This is going to be here on 2025.
Oh, it's going to be great. And I'll be like, Chris, remember what I was talking about? And I'm sure we'll see. But when there's a lot of layoffs, when maybe there's some consolidation from small market teams.
What is Jarris going to talk about if that happened?
The
great days of John Wall?
Yeah. He's going to be like, sorry, we don't even have the Wizards franchise anymore. He doesn't even have a basketball team to root for. And
so
I would be like,
the NBA is going to hit a recession?
Yeah. And they'll be like small market teams. Okay, you don't bring enough to the table.
Half the teams, they're going to say, Milwaukee, you're done. We're going back to the original whatever.
Yeah. I can see smaller market teams. I can see 4 or 5. The teams that don't make money, which there are quite a few that barely break even, is – I'm just talking about the concessions and everything.
Right now, people are willing to pay for it, is my opinion.
I agree, but you don't understand the difference between ESPN, getting up there and writing a check, and people subscribing online. The profit margins are a lot slimmer. And we've seen this in everything. And that's what I'm saying. If the profit margins are slimmer, where's the money going to go to pay the players' salaries?
All right, what is it? What's 2017 right now?
Yeah, 2025.
That's the thing. My first thing is, how do you know in 2025 what kind of devices they're going to be? We have fiber stuff now, like cable, whatever. Who's to say there's not somebody doesn't invent something?
It'd take a long time to get rolling.
The difference in a smartphone from 2008, 2009, and today. Nobody wanted to watch anything on a smartphone in 2009. I had a little Motorola X. It was the biggest phone on the market. I think it was a 4-inch screen. It was a 4-inch screen. It was Motorola Droid X.
Yeah, but
Nobody wanted to watch anything on that, and that was the biggest phone on the market. But now everybody will watch anything on a Note 7, a Note 8. Like
Now
things
we got
change
Xbox.
drastically in that amount of time.
yeah, I mean they're gonna change, but not a lot. I mean, if you basically you pick up my phone, you pick up the iPhone from 2007. Yeah, the screen quality is not gonna be great, as good as it is now. But essentially, we haven't made like crazy progress. I don't see. I see fiber maybe being in more places, so you have faster internet. But I mean, for the most part, the internet's been the same, just a little faster speeds for a long time since early 2000.
20 years ago, do you think anybody in the world imagined there would be a time when somebody would rather watch a game from their house and the TV than go to the stadium? Like, did anybody see anything like that happen?
No.
No way. So who's to say in this next 8, 9, 10 years that next thing or whatever, like no, you can't see where technology is headed.
And we see NBA.
Well,
teams
this should be
trying
the
to adapt. What about Atlanta? They have a bar courtside.
Right.
Yeah, but that gets money to the. I'm not. That's very
the teams
small.
The teams pay the players though.
No,
Which is my
ESPN pays
You were
the
talking about-
players,
You were saying, but it goes to the NBA and they split it up between owners and
that's how the players get paid.
yeah.
Is because of
And
the
you were-
ESPN. I'm talking about you talk about the Hawks having a bar. Yeah, that's a great fan experience, and they could boost their ticket prices and ultimately make a little money for the owner. But I don't.
But like when you go into the luxury tax, that's not ESPN paying.
No, that's the owners because I mean there are billionaire
Yeah, but
owners.
that's a part of the salary.
Yeah.
So like they got to make money.
Yeah, a billionaire owners. Sure, I'll pay $40 million and win a couple championships.
I mean, clearly Dan Gilbert was hurting from it.
yeah, that's because nobody buys fatheads anymore.
I'm just saying.
Anyways,
Things
D-
change.
Diggs,
Out
what
here,
what do you
things
what do you
Here
think,
with the
Diggs?
hot takes, straight out the oven.
The facts. I spit facts. Go research everything I just said.
I'm
And
not look.
hit
I'm just saying,
hit me in the comments if I'm wrong, people.
it-
I try to
in
bring
8
stuff to you.
eight,
Before
in
it
8
happens.
years. Just think about in 8 years, you might be hovering around in the air, dude. You never know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't.
Yeah.